Hi, this is the voice of Heidie Calero with another fascinating, interesting analysis on the Puerto Rico economy, and this is hot off the press. Today, the Puerto Rico Planning Board published the National Account Statistics for fiscal year 2020, which started on July 1st of 2019 and ended on June 30th of 2020. So this is the latest figures. What happened in 2020 compared to 2019? Don't forget, those of you who like our capsules, to give us a like and to subscribe in YouTube to the voice of Heidie Calero. Let's look at the real economic growth in Puerto Rico in 2020. The green line that you see here is the real economic growth of gross national product in Puerto Rico. And for 2020, it was negative 3.2%. Compare that with 2019, when we were already starting to recover with 1.8%. The columns are the Puerto Rico gross national product in real terms in 1954 dollars. That's about $9 billion plus. But the important thing is what happened? What was the economic growth? And what is interesting is that during that fiscal year, from March of 2020 through June of 2020, which is part of that fiscal year, we were on shutdown. The pandemic of COVID-19 hit Puerto Rico as well as it hit the entire globe. So Puerto Rico's economy was on shutdown. What was the effect? Well, we have negative economic growth, even though we were recovering from in fiscal 2019. Let's look at this interesting graph, which is the different components of GNP growth. And for you, GNP, what constitutes GNP, and the four big components are consumption, fixed investment, government, which also consumes, and of course, net exports less imports, so net trade. Those are the four big components that will shape the trend in terms of economic growth. And notice here that this mustard color is 19.8%. Those are net sales. That's exports less imports. Those are all the transactions of Puerto Rico vis-a-vis the rest of the world. And they were positive during fiscal year 2020. But notice that the other components here, this blue one, negative 7.8%, is investment. That is, you've heard me in other capsules saying that that is the heart of any economy. If investment is growing, it will grow future productive capacity. So that's investment in construction, investment in infrastructure, in housing, investment in machinery and equipment. And that was negative 7.8%. And the other orange segment, which is high, was consumption. And that's the consumers in durable consumption for electrodomestics, cars, non-durable consumptions, food, clothing, and in services, health services, business services, recreational services. Well, all those, and then the government, which had the least, but still it was negative 0.1%, is the government. So these three components, of all the four components, three were in negative territory, and sufficiently enough to neutralize the positive contribution of net sales to GNP growth, so that in the end we had negative 3.2%. So let's analyze that big component of consumption during fiscal year 2020 and this COVID-19 pandemic. And here it is. Similar to the GNP growth, let's look at the dissecting the important components of consumption. In real terms, everything here is in real terms, taking inflation out. And notice here in 2020, the three main components of consumption, which was negative 0.4% in real terms, compared to this positive growth which we had in 2019. And its services, which is the magenta segment, it was negative 3.8%. Its non-durable consumption, those are clothing, food, etc., and that was negative 1%. That was the least that had negative growth, but still it was negative. And then this blue segment, which is durable consumption. That is the cars, the ice boxes, the TVs, all that consumption. Remember, we were in a shutdown mode. We were not allowed. There was this shut down from, at least you were not supposed to be out there in the roads from 11 o'clock till 5 o'clock in the morning. And then it was expanded to 12 through midnight through 5 in the morning. But you were not supposed to be in driving or going to any place except for essential services, maybe to the drugstore, maybe to the supermarket, maybe to get gasoline. But that was it. We were all staying at home in the hope that this would really be like a hurricane. It would be over soon and we would start opening. Well, it's been more than a year and we are still battling this COVID-19. So it's interesting to see how these three components were negative for consumption, and yet in 2019, the three were very positive. And also very interesting during this pandemic, and I think it's going to be a trend that you will continue to see even through 2021, 2022, and that's online retailing. Did you know that in 2020, online retailing grew 32% compared to 2019, and that was amounting to almost $2.6 trillion. That's so many zeros, you get dizzy. Well, by 2025, it might start sort of receding because as the economy opens up, you might see this. But by 2025, there is a forecast that it will still continue opening and growing by 20%, and that will be a function of developing markets, especially Asia and Latin America. There will be growth in there. You will still continue to see food and grocery delivery. There are great opportunities there to change really the new generation technologies which are shaping all of this retail and changing franchises, changing even the nature of shopping centers, converting them into what are called now dark stores. Dark stores are really warehouses. So consumers will be calling and you can go and pick up in those big warehouses. So a lot at stake. Fascinating world going forward in 2021 and even 2022. Until the next capsule that we will tell you what the future is. Don't forget, those of you, send me comments on what are some of the topics that interest you so that we can integrate them into economic capsules for the future. Thank you. Stay safe.